So I thought about this topic a lot today. You clicked on this video, you want to know what it takes to become a director, right? You want to know what qualities that you need. You want to know what path. You want to know exactly a finite map of how to get there, right? I think we all do, especially if we are chasing that path very specifically. And one of the things that like really grinds my gears is when we watch these awards shows, when we watch these Q&A panels at big film festivals with very successful directors, and I get it, they're limited on time, right? But they always get the question. They say, hey, listen, how do you become a director? Hey, listen, how do I do what you do? And usually there's like this very, very vague answer. It's always something like, yeah, you got to just knock on the door until somebody answers, and you got to build your own path and don't stop going and just keep on going, and that is great and all, right? That is awesome and that's inspiring. I'm definitely not somebody who's shy of positivity. I'm definitely not somebody who is very pessimistic, especially these days. And I believe that you should chase your dreams all the way and you should never give the fuck up, right? But more specifically, what is it going to take? What is it going to demand of you to be able to do this? Well, I've been out this almost 10 years now. I would say 7 years, like full-time professionally, after I left my day job at a car dealership. And I have been in Los Angeles, in the hub, the mecca, the epicenter of what this is for the past 7 years. I moved out here from New Jersey with my wife. And along the way, I guess I'll share what I feel like to you guys it takes to become a director. Number one, I've always said, if you want to be the captain of this ship, you better know how the ship runs. And I think at the end of the day, it's important for you to have a decent technical arsenal in your mind. It's important for you to understand all of the facets that you possibly can about production, pre-production, and post-production, all of those things, because you're going to run a better operation that way if you have that knowledge. I think a lot of people like to put on the satin trousers and become the boxer. I think a lot of people like to wear the identity of a director and think that they are a boss and think that they are hot shit and that they're the man. Believe me, I've shot for many years as a cinematographer on some high-scale projects, and I have unfortunately worked with a lot of arrogant people who walk around like their shit doesn't stink and who unfortunately have almost no technical ability whatsoever. Hell, if they have any direction to give any actors or anybody, and all the while they're extremely arrogant, extremely rude to their entire crew, and I believe that will never get you far whatsoever. So, like I said, I started out the statement. I said, if you want to be the captain of the ship, you ought to know how to run the ship, right? So, two things that come from that is, number one, like I said, you're going to make better technical decisions on set and in your projects overall if you understand every facet. You don't have to be a master of all, right? But if you can at least understand to the best of your capability, if you are always willing to learn, you are going to inherently make better choices along the way in your career, in your projects, and everything that will bring you better results, right? And that doesn't just mean like, hey, I want to make creative choices because I know technical things. That means you're going to make better logistical choices on time and things like that. Number two, the second part of being the captain of the ship is that when you are the captain of the ship and you know what it takes for every crew member there on set to do their job, and you respect them and you treat them like your family and you treat them like your legion. I want you to imagine you are Maximus in Gladiator, right? And you walk down the line of all your soldiers in your legion and they look at you and they respect you. It's important that you communicate your vision and what it is that you want to do. And especially if you have those years of experience, if you have those years of hard-earned knowledge in this industry, and you have a clear vision and you treat your crew with respect, you treat everybody on set with equal respect, because nobody is better than one another, right? And that doesn't just go for the job that they do, that goes down to them as a person, and then also goes down to you not having an ego and understanding that your crew is there for a reason. They're not just there to, be the labor, move light stands and do things. They are there to effectively understand what it is that you have transmitted to them is your vision for this project, and then in return give you feedback or give you creative insight or logistical technical insight on how to achieve what it is that you are trying to achieve. And every single time you are open to that collaboration, every single time that you are open to dropping your ego video and listening to the professionals that you have hired, especially if they are the right people on your team, you're effectively going to run a far, far better ship, right? And a lot of that comes with just being open to always being the student, open to always learning new ways of things. Believe me, directors have to have a strong opinion, and especially when they believe in something, they have to stand on their ground. But at the same time, I don't want to use the word balance because there's no such thing as balance in this industry. You have to be open and willing to drop your ego for a second, open your mind to your legion, to your troops, to your soldiers, and listen to them and at least hear them out to be able to make the best, most wise decisions. And only then, I believe, really, you are going to be one of the best captains of the ship. You are going to be one of the best centurions, the optio, whatever have you, or general of your legion, right? Maximus is in Gladiator is an incredible warrior, right? He knows the battlefield in and out. And because of that, and because of his respect for his men, they are willing to fight tooth and nail to the death for him, right? If you are a director who walks around and you scream at everybody and you act like you are the hottest thing on Sunset Boulevard, you act like you are the hottest thing since sliced bread, no one is going to respect you. No one is going to want to open their mouths to help you out, to give you insight for you to be able to bring a better vision of your project to the world. So if you want to be the captain of the ship, you better know how to run the ship, right? If you want to lead the Legion, make sure that they are motivated, that they respect you, that you respect them. So when it comes time to charge the hill, you can effectively charge the hill with them. That's number one, first and foremost, for me, above all, in assuming the role of the director. Right? Some people think it's story. Some people think it's the creativity and things like that. If you are not able to be that leader, I'm sorry. I really think you have no business whatsoever in that position at all. And you should maybe take the time to get the experience, or you should maybe take the time to humble yourself. After that, right? After that comes the creativity, because we all have the creativity. We all have the creative spark, and there's nothing wrong with starting out, trying to direct your own films or just going ahead and directing them, whatever your technical knowledge is, right? I've had to do it. I've had to just figure it out, right? But if you want to go to the heights, if you want to be truly legendary, that is first. And then second is using all of that skill set, using those years and years and years of knowledge and set time to utilize and harness your excitement, your little sandlot child within you that can't help but make something absolutely incredible, that can't help but stay up all night long, then call everybody on the phone and tell them about their newest, greatest idea, that can't help but type that into the computer, into a screenplay, into a treatment, into a pitch deck, and things out there, right? Once you have those years of logistical knowledge under your belt, and you also make sure that the kid in the sandbox, the kid who said, hey, I want to make these things for a living, can make sense, then you put both of those things together, the logistic and the creative and the artistry, man, you already, in my opinion, have a lot of recipe for an amazing, amazing director. So when you have that creativity, right, when you have an idea, act on it all the time, act on it right away. Do not let it sizzle in the pan. Do not let it, go to your head and let you have analysis paralysis. I think the best things ever that I have done in my career have been where it's just been like, hey, here's my idea. Okay, let's start writing right now. Why wait till tomorrow, right? If you're serious about anything, if you're passionate about anything, you will find the time to do it, right? Whether it is big or small. If I want a pizza and I want it now, I'm going to call up the phone and I'm going to call Prince Street Pizza over here in Pasadena, and I'm going to order a big old pie because I want that pizza real bad, right? Sure, it's easier than making an entire project, but if you're serious about something and you want it bad enough, you will figure out a way to make it happen. So don't let anything kind of just run past you, if it's a great idea, if you feel it in your heart, put it out in the world to the right people, put it out in the world in the sense of actually doing something to make the steps of it come to life, and then understand that along the way, inherently, shit's just going to go wrong no matter what. But it is a challenge to your character. It is a challenge to you as the leader of the Legion to see how strong you are, right? You think Maximus sends his men out on the battlefield and everything just goes right? No, the barbarians are going to slaughter a couple different units inside there. No, certain things are going to not work, and you're going to get stuck in the mud all the damn time. I just did a project for 2 months that I'm about to release literally in the next few days, and whether it has been on the pre-side, the production side, the post side, oh my God, there's not a day without an issue or something going wrong. And especially after you get your stripes in, and especially after you get your set time in, and you've been there and you understand that a film set and film projects in general are just like battle, right? You understand that there will be casualties. You understand that there will be hardships. You can effectively eventually kind of pump your nerves, pump the brakes on your nerves, and make better decisions. Wow, I'm stumbling on that one. Make better decisions effectively in those scenarios, and understand too that you have to kind of emotionally tame the monster inside your head that's like, oh my God, why is this happening? Why did the editor have this footage for 2 weeks and not edit it whatsoever? And now I have to do 3 overnighters in a row. Holy shit, how could the crew have lost this piece of gear, and now I have to foot the bill to the rental house for it because it's missing and nobody can find it. Holy shit, we need this person to do XYZ in the post-production, but they've either lagged behind him or right near our deadline, or whatever it is. There's always going to be hurdles. There's always going to be things that come in your way effectively on any set, whether, like I said, it's pre, post, or actual production. There's always going to be hurdles, and no matter what, every project, even if it's your baby, is going to break your heart many times over and again. But when you get it right and you fall back in love with it, it will feel like sparks flying. And when you get it right, there's no greater feeling in the world whatsoever, right? So with that, you need to have a cool, calm, collected mindset. You need to be able to adapt in every scenario and try and think logistically, even if that means, you know what? I need to take 5. I need to walk over there in the corner. I need to cool off because A, you never disrespect your crew. B, don't get out of line and ever act unprofessional at all. If you want to, be stern in your voice, sometimes maybe that's necessary on set to make everybody understand, like, hey guys, this is serious whatsoever. But you never disrespect anybody. You never raise your voice. You never belittle anybody whatsoever on set. And you certainly walk away and you remove yourself if you're going to feel emotionally stressed, because sometimes, the shit hits the fan, and every second that goes by, you are burning thousands and thousands of dollars on a lot of sets, especially when you're a director. Filmmaking is expensive, so you don't want to effectively lose the loyalty of your Legion to you. You don't effectively want to lose the loyalty or the belief from your client or anything else on set. So it is important that you always keep a level head. It is important that you always just take a moment, think, or, if you have other people that are great people beside you, if you have a producer that you trust like no other, you pull them aside, you guys have a little powwow. What can we do? How can we fix this? The set we were just on, too, we kept shooting during the night. And we had to have the car lights on, but we could not have the engine on for sound. And both picture cars kept dying. What happened? All right, pull aside. It was like stressful because we're behind time, and it kept dying, and like we had to keep pulling over to do it. And we're like, oh my God, man, oh my God, this is all we need right now. But nope, no problem. I had my producer Abe. He right away, Sean, where's your keys? Okay, cool. I'm gonna pull up your car. Let's get the jumper cables. Let's go. We're gonna fix this. Boom, 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 bap, and you get right back on the horse. You have to have that resilience. You can't let it all fall on your head, right? If if a bunch of people are charging down the hill against you, and this is the enemy, right? Whether it is time that is your enemy on set, whether it is logistical issues going wrong, anything, right? You cannot cower away. You cannot be worried, and you cannot show that weakness, right? You need to make your crew feel like you've got this. You're going to make the right logistical decision in order to get the crew past this hurdle right now, get back on schedule, and finish the project, as well as if you have a client or anything like that. So having a level head, having the emotional intelligence, I think, to tame yourself and make smart logistical decisions based on those years of experience, like we were talking about before, is going to inherently and effectively make a massive difference. And believe me, this is easier said than done. This is something that I think is going to take years and years of trial and tribulation, right? So the more that you get your reps in on set, the more sets that you work on, and the more you listen to your teams, and the more problems that you have to solve, effectively you will get better at this, right? But I'm just going down the list of things that I think are going to make you a great director, things that I think help propel you to be successful one day, right? I think these are all wonderful things. I think these are all wonderful characteristics, right, that I've labeled that for me means what it means to be a director, right? But how do you become one, right? Do I have the 1000% finite answer? No. Am I Martin Scorsese? Do I have 5 Oscars or 10 or 20 behind me like some amazing filmmaker yet? No, I don't. But I've been doing this a long time. And this year, more than ever, I have started to taste just little bits of getting where it is that I want to go with my career. And in that, I've realized so many things. Number one, if you want to be a director, you are going to have to will and propel it and force it into existence, right? The days of let me write my script, let me write my treatment, and then this company or agency is just going to hire me and I'm going to be the director because, you know, I made a nice little application and I've got a nice show reel. I'm sorry, but personally, I've tried that so many times, and I know a lot of people around me have too. I can't say anything for finite, right, because I'm not the all-seeing master of everything, but I think that those days are effectively really gone or really scarce and far and few between, right? So if you're like me and you just have the passion in your heart to do something, you didn't go to film school, you don't have any connects whatsoever predisposed, you don't have any connected parents or wealthy parents, or you don't have enough money to kind of buy yourself into some situations or social networks, right? You will have to will yourself into the existence of being a director. And what do I mean by that, right? You will have to come up with an idea, right, for something, or you adapt an idea based off a screenplay if we're talking about narrative or somebody else's concept. You will have to act on that idea immediately. It is important that you act on it immediately. Do not get analysis paralysis and get to work on making something, anything. If it's a pitch to a client, if it's a pitch to a studio, if it's a pitch to even your friends to make a short film, you have to act on that. You have to do whatever it takes and will that into existence, right? That explosive spark that you had to want to create something, that explosive excitement that you have to want to create something, you need to make everyone feel that. When you direct the project, they should feel that coming through the screen, right? When you pitch this project, whether you're trying to get crew on it, whether you're trying to get money, whether you're trying to pitch it to any producers, you effectively cannot lose that level of passion. You cannot lose that momentum in how bad you want that idea to come to life, right? So if I have this explosive idea in my mind and I want to do it so bad in this film, I can't call somebody and be like, hey man, you got this film, listen, dude, it's really great. Yeah, what's it about, Sean? Yeah, like this guy, that's never going to fucking work. Let's be honest, right? You have to have that explosive excitement. You have to have that infectious energy that you are so obsessed that you cannot sleep. You cannot dare keep your eyes closed in the morning because you want to shout it from the rooftops and let everybody know that you have the next best fucking thing on the block that the world needs to see. If you can direct the minds of anybody it is that you want to be a part of your projects, you're going to go so much further. So Why do I say this? I just did a 2-year film, right? That took me 2 years and almost no money to do whatsoever. And I learned that the hard way on doing that one. And then I just did a huge brand film that I'm really excited to release later this week. This is a project that kind of prompted me to make this video. And the amount of crew that I had to pull together for free to be able to make this vision come to life and motivate these people and have them all see the vision of what it is that I saw was a sell that some people, I don't care if this is in some people's minds very cocky or full of myself. Some people could not inspire other people with, right? When I called everybody with this idea, I said, okay, all right, I want you to imagine XYZ, right? You have to direct the person's mind where it is that your mind is going. However you can do that, if you can do that at all and make them feel that emotion in their imagination, now imagine what you can do on camera, right? So that's going to come in the pre-phase, the pre-production, whether you're funding it, whether you're getting the crew, whether you're getting the logistics to make it happen, whether you're making a phone call to get a location for free or for cheap or whatever it is to negotiate it. You're going to have to keep that excitement so that way other people are excited to want to help you out at the end of the day. If you can't do that, Godspeed and good luck to you. Believe me, I don't say this as a point of cockiness. I don't say this as I'm the man whatsoever. I have only just, I think, realized the art of this after 10 years. And there are so many phone calls that I've had to make where I'm like, oh my God, this guy's never going to say yes to me. Holy shit, this is really embarrassing that I have to ask for this. Or, oh my God, I don't want to lowball. Or, oh my God, I did this and that. There's no way. It's going to be a no. And oh shit, I got to call 45 different people searching for this one thing and help me out with this VFX. And, effectively, some people are not going to answer you. Some people are going to sigh and be like, yeah, dude, I can't help you out there. And that's just going to be a lot of this, right? So if you can't face the rejection, if you can't continue to maintain that excitement in your explanation of your ideas in all of those facets and so many more, right? Whether it's in the pre-production, it's on set, it's in post-production, and then once you finally get the project out there, right? Marketing it as well is another part of that facet of making people believe and feel your excitement for your projects. Then it's going to be a really, really hard road for you. You can't afford to be shy in the slightest bit. Believe me, I was the quiet metalhead kid who wore all black, sat in the corner with my headphones in, listening to some heavy shit when I was younger. And I've had to learn throughout my life and especially my film career, hey, listen, you got to speak up, right? Somebody told me a great thing, a closed mouth never gets fed. And that could not be more true after this project that I just did, because all of those situations, all of those scenarios, all of those phone calls and conversations with different crew members, different vendors, things like that would never have propelled this project to the level that it was in if I didn't just have the, as we say back in New Jersey, the cojones, the balls to fucking speak up, make some calls and say, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing and XYZ, and I want to know if you want to be a part, or I would call, and if it was somebody else and it was a crew member, and say, hey, listen, I'm doing this amazing project, something really unique. I want to flip the whole entire script on how ads like this were done, and I want to make people laugh and effectively imagine something totally different in their minds that they're not used to saying. And then I would begin the pitch of the project. I would tell you what it is, but I want you to see the final video. But I would begin the pitch of the project by saying, I want you to picture in your mind a commercial for a certain product that is done in a totally different way like never before. And it is in the entertainment wrapper of things that are marketed towards men, in the entertainment wrapper of movies like Training Day, Heat, End of Watch, blah, 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 blah. So now I strike a chord. Now I become relatable, especially to who I'm talking to. Oh, yeah, I love movies like that. Oh, yeah, I could see it. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And so the more that you can do that and the more that you can paint that your imagination into other people's minds, and the more you can be infectious with your energy, inherently is going to lead you to a far better time being a director. Next, I'm at 27 minutes, and if you know me, I have an obsession with the 27 number. And my whole entire family, everybody is born for whatever reason. A lot of people on the 27th, our home addresses all have 27 in it, and yada, yada, yada. So the next thing that I'm going to say is I believe you have to be really organized. You have to be organized. You have to be detail oriented, and you really, really have to have your shit together, right? If the captain of the ship doesn't have organization and he just kind of pulls decisions out of his ass, then what the hell is that, right? How is that ship going to run, especially when that ship is burning thousands of dollars every single second if he makes wasteful decisions, right? Make sure that when you are making your shot list, you are organizing them, especially to the best of your ability on what it will take to technically pull them off. Are you organizing your budget? Are you organizing your ideas, your scripts, all of your documents in a certain sort of place? And then when you convey all of these ideas and when you convey all of this information to your crew, make sure it's organized. Your crew does not like to come up to set and say, hey, what's the shot list for today, boss? You know, what's going on? And you go, I don't know. What should we shoot, man? No one fucking likes that. You're a director without a vision. You're disorganized. You're sloppy. It doesn't look good whatsoever. And going along with being organized too, this is a visual medium. This is a visual field. Organization doesn't have to just literally be in that method. To me, it goes in the way you speak. It goes in your presentation of yourself, right? When you show up on set, if you're the director, you should look well put together. You should look organized, and you should present yourself that way. Your pitch decks and documents, everything that you do should be well organized and communicated. Your emails and your entire self, like even being on time, all of those things go under the category of organization. Like I said, you are not God. You're not a rock star. You're not a boss whatsoever just because you're a director, right? If you want people to respect that title, then you better respect what it means to do that, and you better be damn well organized on set. So these are just some of the qualities that along the way, I think, really, really are going to propel me to a much more successful director career because I'm already getting the traction. It's things that I tell you guys not out of just, hey, look at me, I'm God Almighty, I'm the master. I just don't think that there's a lot of people on the internet right now who have done this and failed time and time again, and will tell you in this descriptive detail. You know, it's like I said, the How to Be a Director for Dummies thing, you know, would be an amazing book, but at these award shows, unfortunately, it's just, hey, keep going, don't give up, make it happen. The cavalry's not coming. You are the cavalry. It's all great. Cheers. But, you know, I just wanted to give you a unique perspective from a guy who has tried and failed, still going. And I at least haven't gone to insanity where I've done the same thing over and over and over again. But I have, however, adapted, learned from either my mistakes, and learned for me and for, you know, just my career, what things have started to bring me more success and what values I believe in to my core based off of the way that I was raised, based off of all of the different pieces of success that I've had in my career. And these are a lot of those things that I really, really think make a strong director. I need a glass of water. Give me one sec here. So we've been talking for 30 minutes here. And the last topic I want to hit on, and sure, I could go on all day and all night, and I don't know if anybody chooses to want to hear me riff that long. But the next thing that I'm going to say is that when you are a director, you have to have strong opinions, right? Like I said, I gave you this whole spiel, and I'm like, hey, listen, you can't have an ego whatsoever. You got to listen to your crew. I still stand by that, right? But you have to have strong opinions. You have to have a clear vision. And you have to really, really know what it is that you want. And I think to get that, you really need to, A, earn your stars and stripes and shoot more, collaborate more, and get different pieces of, creative influence from other people. You have to be consuming other pieces of art. You know, don't just watch the modern stuff. Watch the classics, study the greats, and study old art as well outside of films. Those are the original versions of telling stories. And they were there in place because peasants at the time, a lot of times in medieval era or ancient era, could not read. So they would look to art, specifically paintings, statues, and things like that, to tell them stories. And if we look to those as well, there are so many elements in there that will help us to have, to have influence, to have a certain level of taste, and to have inspiration for what it is that we like. The more we know what we like, the more we know where we want to go and how we want to develop our unique voice as artists and a unique visual style, the more we can make very, very, very intentional decisions on set in pre-production and post-production, right? You know, if you're the VFX person, if you're the person doing the score, because I'm dealing with this right now on the project right now, and you come to me like, Sean, what do you want for the score? And I just go, yeah, I don't know, whatever you think is cool, right? He could send me back 30 fucking copies of that score, and I could keep going, yeah, I don't know, it kind of sucks, right? But the more you really figure out what you want, the more you are a strong, opinionated person who really, really knows what it is that your unique voice is, then you are going to make better decisions. You're going to develop your own unique voice as an artist, and effectively, you're going to make everybody's life easier, right? So I could come down to so many things. The actor on set is like, "What do you want? What do you want?" Oh, I don't know. Just try and do it better, right? That's not helping anybody at all. So when you have a certain taste and you know exactly what it means to have that taste, every finite detail of it, you're going to be able to communicate your vision better, and you're going to develop a style when people go, that's Boyd right there, man. That's Michael Bay. Oh, man, dude, that's Michael Mann right there. That is Stanley Kubrick, the master of composition right there, right? And because you spend so much time getting to know yourself, because you spend so much time knowing what it is that you like, then you are very certain in what your vision is. And then when you are on set, you're able to make extremely calculated decisions. You're not burning through media on the camera. You're not wasting time and unnecessary money, the actor's time, the whole crew's time, when everybody could go home and see their spouses, see their loved ones, see their friends, but you got to keep them there for overtime, or you got to go over budget because you don't know what it is that you're doing. I was just on a set recently, and I was kind of assisting, and I don't like to say negative things too much, and it's no hate to the guy. I'm really happy he was directing and everything, but he was a very spray and pray director. He really didn't know what he wanted on this project, and it was a music video. And the things that he was doing, in my personal humble opinion, were not at all cohesive to the song, the visual style that the artist wanted for this music video, and the location that we're filming in. And it seemed like about every 15 to 20 minutes was like, oh yeah, let's take out this filter and try this effect. Oh yeah, maybe we'll try a silhouette. Okay, no, but let's do a Dutch angle. And I'm like, what? This is like the happiest music video ever. Why are we doing a Dutch angle? Sure, art has no rules at a certain point, and you can break some of them. It's totally up to you as the artist, and there's nothing wrong with that, and wanting to be a little bit creatively explorative, if you want to say that, or whatever it is that you want to say. But I think when you have a clear vision, you're going to have a more cohesive project. You're going to also effectively, subconsciously let your crew know, hey, listen, you're dealing with the real McCoy here. I know what I want. I know exactly how we're going to get there. I know exactly how we're going to do it, and I will die on that hill. And once you can convey that subliminally, the Legion, the troops, they all get in line and they say, okay, man, let us know where we're ready to charge this hill, right? Versus, oh yeah, I don't know. So it's important that you have a vision. It's important that you have a taste. It's important that you have strong values about what it is that you want. It's important that you speak up. You are the director. You are there to direct your vision. So don't be afraid to speak up. Do not ever get out of line. Don't be unhumble. Do not belittle anybody in the process of that. But also, don't be afraid to voice yourself. Speak up. I think a lot of this deals with a personality, or working on some of your speaking skills as well, if you are not in that position, because at the same time too, there's a lot of talented artists who are not great speakers, who are not great communicators whatsoever. And so when you have a strong vision, you're able to communicate that correctly. Man, I don't believe there's any better synergy whatsoever out there. So that's the last thing I'll say, is just having strong vision, having a strong set of beliefs and visual style and things that you know that work for you, that you like. Of course, sometimes it will vary on projects and you'll have to adapt effectively. And of course, sometimes you have to be open to new things within that. But having that strong opinion, knowing what it is that you want at all times, gives us a clear destination rather than roaming through the forest and saying, hey, Maximus, where are we going? I don't know. Those trees over there seem good. And they're like, dude, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing at all. And believe me, I've been on a lot of those sets. You don't want to be that guy whatsoever. So I will continue. It is February right now. I will continue to chase this dream. I will continue to work on myself, to work with the friends beside me, to continue to practice gratitude for what it is that I do, and chase this insane dream if it's the last thing that I do this year. I have no promises. I can't make any grand statements whatsoever. And if anything, this whole entire chat and the way that I've been talking in a lot of ways has not only said to me that subconsciously I need to stop saying I want to be a director, because I already am one and I already have directed a lot of projects. But when I say I want to, and I want to do it so badly, I just want to chase greatness. I want to be one of the best one day. I want to be the best version of me possible, not comparing myself to anybody. And I want to put food on the table and provide for my family. I don't want to worry, one day, like I do many times, like a lot of us people do in pursuit of art, where the next check is going to come from. I don't want to fret and harbor and do things that are not want to do, because I've spent a lot of my career doing that. And it just kind of made me miserable. It made me jaded. And there's a lot of people in this industry like that. So the more that I can go towards the stories, the projects, the artworks that mean something to me deep down in my core, and along the way, if I can become a better human, if I can become a better communicator, if I can become a better director, and especially a working director who pays only the bills with that, that's a pretty good life right there. Yeah. So in the meantime, these are the lessons. These are the things that I've learned. This is what it means to me to be a director.